The message arrived at 70:12 m, a time chosen either deliberately or without thought. It read like a memo, no greeting, no context, just a boundary drawn with confidence. Don't show up. You're not part of this family. He stood in his kitchen when he read it, coffee cooling beside the sink. The house was quiet. He noticed the quiet first, then the absence of surprise. The words did not bruise so much as align something he had suspected for years. He typed back, deleted, typed again. In the end, he sent 2 words, neutral as glass. Message received. There was no satisfaction in sending it. Only a sense of closing a ledger. For a long time, his role in the family had been described as generosity. He preferred to think of it as maintenance. When things broke, he fixed them. When money ran thin, he bridged the gap. He did it quietly, through automatic transfers and shared access he had set up years ago, when his parents' finances grew complicated and his sister's career stalled between ambition and reality. None of it had ever been formalized as power. It was presented as trust. That morning, after the text, he opened his laptop and reviewed the accounts with the same methodical calm he used at work. He did not rush. He did not imagine their reactions. He simply followed procedure: shared access revoked, secondary cards frozen, automatic payments redirected back to their source. Notes added. Precise and unemotional. This was not punishment. It was alignment. If he was not part of the family, then neither was his support. The cursor blinked. He closed the laptop. The days that followed felt oddly hollow. He waited for anger to arrive and take over, but it didn't. Instead, there was a low-grade unease, a questioning of motives. Was this petty? Was it proportional? He replayed old conversations, searching for the moment when love had quietly attached conditions to itself. He remembered his father saying, years earlier, "You're good with money. You don't mind helping." It hadn't been a question. By the 4th day, the group chat, normally a stream of logistics and emojis, shifted tone. First confusion, then urgency. Screenshots of balances that didn't make sense. His sister's messages came in bursts, punctuation multiplying as panic rose. Is there a problem with the account? Dad can't pay the vendor. Why is my card declined? He did not respond. A bank notification followed, addressed to all authorized parties, explaining the changes in careful, neutral language. Authority without accusation. Policy instead of blame. It landed like a gavel without being swung. The accusations arrived after that. His mother called, voice tight, asking what he thought he was doing. His sister texted paragraphs that oscillated between pleading and fury. Someone accused him of trying to ruin the wedding. Someone else reminded him of everything the family had ever done for him. He listened to one voicemail all the way through. It ended with, "How could you do this to us?" He waited an hour before calling back. When his father answered, he did not raise his voice. He asked one question. Am I part of the family? There was a pause long enough to be honest. That's not what this is about, his father said. That's what it's about to me, he replied. He explained, briefly, what he had done and why. No speeches, no ultimatums. He used the same tone he used with clients when terms changed. The calmness unsettled them more than anger would have. You can fix this, his sister said in the background, sharp and desperate. I already did, he said, and ended the call. The wedding went on without him. He saw photos later, his sister smiling. His parents composed, the illusion intact. The accounts were restructured with the bank's help. Things resumed, altered but functional. What did not resume was the old arrangement of affection. Weeks later, his mother sent a message that began with "We miss you" and ended with "This all went too far." He read it twice and set the phone down. Missing, he realized, was not the same as including. He did not feel triumphant. He felt recalibrated. There were moments of doubt, especially at night, when memory softened the edges of the text that had started it all. He wondered if he had mistaken cruelty for clumsiness, if a conversation might have salvaged something earlier. Those questions lingered without answers. Conditional love is difficult to name while you're inside it. It wears the costume of necessity. It praises you for usefulness and grows cold when usefulness asserts itself as a boundary. Months later, at a family gathering he was invited to, but did not attend, someone asked where he was. His father said, "He's busy." The words were not wrong. They were simply incomplete. He was busy building a life where belonging did not depend on access codes or silent expectations. Busy learning that restraint could be an act of care, even when it looked like withdrawal. The group chat still existed, quieter now. He read it sometimes. He rarely wrote. There was no apology. There was no reconciliation scene. Just a steady, uncomfortable truth settling into place. Love offered with terms can be declined without malice. And that, he decided, was consequence enough.